You ready? Okay. Good afternoon. This is Margaret Johnson with Disability Rights California. We are opposed to SB 783. Federal and state disability access laws and regulations are vital to the promotion of the total integration of people with disabilities into social and economic life. Further, California access laws and policies have been in effect for decades, and full compliance by businesses still fails significantly short of what is required. Any amendments to existing law must fully maintain the state's commitment to ensuring that people with disabilities have full, free use and enjoyment of public facilities and accommodations. Regrettably, SB 783 does not meet this objective. Further, this bill undermines the collaborative efforts between the disability community and the business community in developing SB 1608. It's essential to remember that current law maintains the minimum standards needed to provide access and already takes into account such things as whether a building pre-existed the adoption of the law, whether barrier removal is achievable, and what resources are available to do so. To the extent that can be shown that there are abuses in the use of access law remedies, any proposed solution must be narrowly crafted to target only those abuses without impairing legitimate actions necessary to ensure access and civil rights. And SB 783 doesn't meet that requirement. For example, procedures already exist to deal with vexatious litigants and frivolous lawsuits. People with disabilities should not have enforcement of their civil rights limited or delayed because of the actions of a few, especially when current procedures exist to deal with the problem. SB 783 is not targeted to the alleged problem. It affects everyone who files lawsuits, not just vexatious litigants. And it treats people with disabilities as second-class citizens by targeting them for additional procedural and legal barriers to enforce their rights. They alone, among all groups with civil rights protections, have to jump through legal hoops before they can address their civil rights violations. Some of the bill's requirements are particularly onerous for people who have difficulty getting to accessible transportation to the post office or other places to fulfill the requirements. In addition, it's not limited to businesses, but rather applies to all places to which the public is invited, including state and local government and public transportation. It unfairly delays actions for legitimate claims, and it eliminates attorney fee. It also eliminates attorney fees, which would impair the ability of people with disabilities to find representation to get access problems fixed.
You've got about 15 seconds left, so you need to wind up.
I will do just that. Thank you, Senator Harman. I urge you all to vote no on this bill. Thank you very much.
Next speaker. Yes, sir. Give us your name and your testimony very briefly.
My name is Henry Contreras. I'm with the California Foundation for Independent Living Centers, and we're here also to oppose SB 783. We were an active participant in the negotiation that crafted SB 1608 by Senator Corbett. Those discussions brought the disability community and consumer organizations together with Business and Restaurants Association over an intensive 2-year period. In the end, we reached a fair compromise to balance the disability community's concerns about the lack of enforcement of existing state and federal disability access laws and the concerns of defendants that compliance with these requirements was too burdensome, costly, and subject to abuse. SB 1608 took a multifaceted approach in addressing noncompliance with disability access law. Among other things, it provided for advance notice to defendants about their legal rights and obligations under the law, built-in incentives for business owners to bring their facilities into compliance, facilitated judicial review and voluntary compliance through certified access compliance reports and early evaluation conferences, and reached a fair compromise on damages that a plaintiff can recover. We oppose SB 783 because its proposed solutions would undermine the objectives of SB 1608 long before it's been given a full opportunity to be implemented. It would impose a number of unprecedented and onerous pre-litigation requirements as a condition for filing such claims that would single out disabled plaintiffs among all other civil litigants. Taken together, these requirements would have a chilling effect upon the ability of plaintiffs to afford to pursue legitimate claims and receive an appropriate reward of damages and attorney's fees. While it purports to address the filing of frivolous lawsuits, its one-size-fits-all approach overreaches in crafting a proposed solution that sweeps even meritorious claims into the same pre-litigation framework. Fundamentally, it would undermine the ability of people with disabilities to pursue the enforcement of their civil and statutory rights. And for these reasons, we urge a no vote on SB 7.
Thank you very much. Next speaker. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Jeff Tom, California Council of the Blind. For the reasons expressed in the analysis and by the previous witnesses, we are in strong opposition to the bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for keeping it brief.
Thank you. Nancy Pavarini on behalf of the Consumer Attorneys of California. I'd just like to thank Senator Harman Corbett for all the effort that they put into it. We think this is detrimental to that effort. We do have pamphlets. I think we're the only association that's actually taken it upon ourselves to produce information about 1608, and we're in the process of doing an instructional video for the small businesses out there. It'll be available on our website. In the meantime, I'll put these pamphlets over with the sergeant. If anybody would like to get them, they can. It explains their obligations under the law and what they can do to avoid being sued. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Mr. Chair and members, Valerie Small Navarro with the American Civil Liberties Union in opposition. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there other speakers in opposition? Seeing none, are there questions or comments from the committee members? Senator